Hey everybody, my third video on friendship. So I wanted to talk to you about how my particular personality has been combined with how I was raised and where I'm at to make having friends not come naturally to me. So, not that I don't want friends, but because I do want friends, and I do want, and I'm not saying like I want friends to like call and complain to. Like, I want connections, I want sisterhood, I want community, really. Let me know in the comments if that's something you want and something that you are motivated to find in 2023. So, my particular personality, I have a feeling some of you watching are going to resonate with this, okay? So, when I was staying in one place for a certain time, and of course, I still had that mindset that my parents gave me, but knowingly or unknowingly, I always got to put a little caveat there because I'm not trying to blame anybody. I'm just saying where I come from, right? So, milk tea and the film of milk that, it's just like so slimy and it's disgusting. Anyway, sorry. So, yes, my personality. I was raised, with a dad that he did not take very much seriously, and he liked to mess around a lot and wrestle and like be funny, and he would call it the clown act. So whenever we would go somewhere in public and he would start joking around or somebody else would joke around and it was like, impolite or inappropriate in public or something, he would just call it, oh, welcome to the clown show. Let's get the clown act going. I don't know if this was like his rebellion in society, like to society, like being too stiff or something. But I really appreciate it because I've developed this sense of lightheartedness in my life because of that. Anyways, very humorous. My dad was very humorous. So when I would go to school as the jokester, right? And I didn't see the point of drawing a distinction between school and home because I'm just myself in both scenarios. I'm still human. I still find things funny, right? I would try to continue that jokester mode at school. And this was so problematic, if you can imagine. I was that kid. I was the kid in the principal's office because I was playing jokes on people and just stupid stuff that, like, why would a child get in trouble for that? There should have been a round of applause in the background for how hilarious I was. Anyways, the teachers didn't find it so funny. Whatever. Until I got my third and fourth grade teacher, Mr. Nauman. He was so cool. He was so cool that he even stayed with our class through fourth grade. We went third grade with him, fourth grade with him. I loved him. Anyway, so my personality type, I'm very assertive. I'm very, very assertive. I will fight for what I believe in, no matter what. I'm very assertive. I'm very driven. I come on pretty strong and intense quite often. In fact, I try to consciously kind of soften my edges a bit because it comes very naturally for me to be very aggressive and very assertive. So at school, that didn't read well, especially with my humorousness. I would get carried away often, and didn't know when to stop, and mix my personality with just being a little kid. And this made it hard for me to have friends, particularly the female type, because my rambunctiousness and my just thinking everything was a joke was more suited to the boys. It was more seen as boy behavior, right? So I would have some guy friends, but of course, as we got older, you know what happens. The boys started to like me, and I was like, what the hell, you were my friend, and it became very annoying. And so I had to find some female friends, especially since I started becoming more and more attracted to boys. I've always been attracted to males since I was very young, but I didn't always want it to be like a romantic thing, like especially with the ones I wasn't attracted to. All right, like, I'm just trying to be your friend, dude. Let's just go like be funny together, or go do like sports or something, whatever. So as I became older, I started having more friends of the girl type. oh my gosh, the politics of girlhood, right? Like, whoa, it was just so, I'm a very direct person. It comes with my assertiveness, and these politics that these girls were playing, like, I did not want to play their games. I did not want to play their games. And so it made me sort of, on the fringes a bit. And then I would develop some friendships with other people, that were a little on the fringes, whatever, girls and stuff like that. And I just, my intensity, I did not know how to rein it in as a young girl. And so moving through puberty and stuff, when I did have female friends, I would get in trouble a lot because of my edginess and my stubbornness, and me just not taking the rules seriously. I still don't take rules seriously because I didn't make them, so why would I just completely take an oath to uphold all of them? You know what I mean? If they don't work for me. But yeah, I did not know how to temper my assertiveness and my lightheartedness about everything, my rebelliousness and my intensity, really. So it was typically my way or the highway with people, and I would just drop them. I didn't really feel like I needed anyone. And that goes back also to echoes of what my parents would say. You can't trust friends. It's always family. At the end of the day, all you have is family. Friends are there when they need you, but then gone when they don't. And this is probably based on my parents' experiences, but I really applied it to them. So I always treated friends like they were temporary. And it didn't help that it didn't help my case. It didn't help my huge intensity and my stubbornness. And so I would just have friends that liked to get in trouble, like me. And a lot of them were guys, a few were girls. And then moving up through, high school and stuff, it just became harder to sustain long-term friendships because all of my friends, and this is true to this day too, a lot of my friends are dead, were murdered, or are in prison, or just getting out of prison. And I don't know, I'm just feeling the weight of it right now. That's, a lot of my friends are just not, or addicts. Let's not even forget that people grow up and become addicts, and they just drop off the face of the earth. So this is what happened to a lot of my older friends. Now, this further reinforced the idea that friends are temporary, and how could they be important in your life if you couldn't even count on them to be around or uplifting to you, right? And if you couldn't be there for them, if they're in prison or whatever, how are you, or we just signing up to be like a prison wife, it becomes very difficult to maintain friendships. So I wanted to just paint that picture for you. And if you were a strong-willed kid, ADD, ADHD kid, problem child, rebel, whatever labels that everybody gives you, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear how well did you know the vice principal, and how often were you in the principal's office, and how many shenanigans did you get into? Good memories. But and how did that affect your friendships today? Are you the same way you used to be? Are you different now? Have you learned that you are wrong for being the way that you are, and to change it to conform to society? Or have you really reconciled that part of yourself and found a way to be a productive family member with your personality and the things that you the things about you that maybe some people see as a detriment, right? I'd love to hear how all of that affects your modern relationships. Why do I keep saying modern? Your current relationships now. And do you find yourself having an abundance of friendships and, long-term friendships and community? Where do you find yourself, and what brought you here? I'd love to know.